For decades, India carried rifles designed somewhere else. The INSAS was indigenous, but its limitations became a battlefield controversy. Then India turned to one of the world's most famous weapons, the Russian Kalashnikov. But something has now changed in Amethi. India has manufactured and successfully test-fired an AK-203 using 100% Indian components and input materials. It has a new name, Sher. More than 6 lakh AK-203s are being produced for the Indian Army, and the factory says it will soon make one every 100 seconds. So has India finally cracked mass production of a world-class assault rifle? How did India go from assembling a Russian design to owning it completely? And could Amethi eventually start exporting Kalashnikovs to the world? Now, the story starts in 2019. Russia and India opened a joint venture plant in Korva, located in Amethi in India's state of Uttar Pradesh, to manufacture the AK-203 rifle. The company behind it, Indo-Russian Rifles Private Limited or IRRPL. For years, the rifles rolling off this line were part Indian, part Russian. Components imported, technology borrowed, progress, but not independence. That changed step by step. In 2023 and 2024, Russia handed over full transfer of technology to IRRPL. By mid-2025, the rifle was 50% Indian-made. By October, though, 70%. And now IRRPL has done what it set out to do. Test-fire a rifle built with 100% Indian components at its Korva facility in Amethi. Not assembled in India, but made in India. This wasn't one big leap, it was hundreds of small ones. According to IRRPL's own leadership, the AK-203 has roughly 50 major components, about 180 sub-components and nearly 120 manufacturing processes. Every single one of them had to be re-engineered using Indian vendors, Indian materials and Indian quality checks. That means India did not just learn how to build a rifle, it built an entire ecosystem around it. New suppliers, new metallurgy, new testing standards, a structured 5-stage localization program that turned technology transfer into technology ownership. This is the difference between operating someone else's design and actually owning your own supply chain. Now let's talk about the rifle itself. The AK-203 fires the 7.62 by 39mm round. It switches between automatic fire at 700 rounds a minute and precise single shots. It can engage targets up to 800 meters away with an effective battle sight range of 350 meters. At 3.8 kgs, it's lighter than the INSAS rifle it's replacing, which weighed over 4 kgs. So this rifle is meant to replace the INSAS, like I said, a weapon Indian soldiers have carried for decades in counter-insurgency zones along the line of control and in some of the toughest terrain in the world. A lighter, more reliable rifle is not a small upgrade. For a soldier carrying it for hours in the mountains, it matters. This is not a one-off rifle. It's a 6,200 crore rupee contract for over 6 lakh rifles to be delivered to India's armed forces. The original deadline was October 2032. IRRPL now says it can finish nearly 2 years early by December 2030. The Korva plant is built for speed, one rifle roughly every 100 seconds. Close to 12,000 rifles a month once full production kicks in. That's not a boutique operation, that's an assembly line built to arm an entire army at scale on schedule. Here's where it gets interesting. IRRPL is not just thinking about India's own soldiers anymore. Once full indigenization is locked in, the company has spoken openly about export ambitions. Countries in Asia, Africa and Latin America already use Kalashnikov pattern rifles. A fully Indian-made AK-203 at competitive cost with a proven combat pedigree could become India's first real entry into the global small arms export market. That would turn a domestic replacement program into a genuine revenue stream and a diplomatic tool. India spent decades importing its primary infantry weapon. Now it's exporting the possibility of one. This didn't happen through one announcement. It happened through years of unglamorous work, re-engineering component by component, vendor by vendor, until a foreign design became a domestic capability. The rifle now heads into army user trials, the last real test before mass deployment. If it clears that stage, Sher won't just replace an old weapon. It becomes a case study for how India wants to build everything else too. Tanks, jets, submarines, radars. Learn the technology, absorb it fully, then own it outright. The real question is not whether India can build a rifle. It just did. The real question is whether this model, technology transfer turned into total self-reliance, can be repeated across the rest of India's defense industry. Because a lion in a soldier's hands is one story. A lion built entirely at home, ready to be sold to the world, is a very different one.
A nuclear weapon.
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
No tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy and power seen through India's eyes. From Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India. How one move by China can affect India's security. What turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability. How Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood. Why oil choke points can hit your wallet. How wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly, to understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.